All right, everybody. Welcome back to Comics Only, the only podcast where comedians talk with other comedians. My guest today is writer and podcaster and comedian Jorge Ruiz. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Just chilling, man. Thanks for coming out today.
I think this is the only podcast where comics talk to each other.
Yeah.
There's really none out there at all.
Exactly.
I've never heard of it.
That's why I say it.
Right.
It's where you come if you want to hear comedians talk with other comedians. It's the only place, folks.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, exactly. How long have you been doing comedy, dude?
I started comedy at the end of 2010.
Yeah.
I started coming around like the different comedy venues about end of 2009.
Damn, so it's like 13 years.
Yeah. So I started coming around 2009 because I was like super nervous about it. I wasn't sure.
And you're from the Valley.
Yeah, I'm from Glendale.
So you've seen like so many iterations of the scene. You've seen literally thousands of comedians come and go.
I wouldn't say comedians. I would say thousands of attempts at comedy.
Yeah. I love your perspective.
There's
on
not
this.
that many comedians.
You're like, no, you have to do comedy 5 years to be a real comic.
I wouldn't even say 5 years. You just have to actually
Stick
make people laugh and,
yeah,
have a stage presence, the basics.
Yeah, it's funny how easy that is for some people and how hard it is for others. Like some people like start comedy and almost immediately they're like pretty good at it. I sucked for years, literal years, dude.
And when did you start?
5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And like for the first 2 years, I was rough, dude. I was really nervous before I'd go on stage. I had a hard time just slowing. Like it took me a long time to learn stage presence, is what I'm trying to say. And some people just have that.
Yeah, so I mean, when I first started, my first time was at a Hidden House. It was on 7th Avenue in Osborne. It was like not the biggest like in size, but like the most notable booked open mic in Phoenix at the time. Mm-hmm. And it's been running for a long time.
Yeah.
It had been running for a long time in 2010. And
wow.
They gave me 5 minutes, put me first, and I absolutely killed my first.
Yeah.
The next like 10 I bombed.
Sure.
But if I would have bombed
first.
Did
they know it was your first time?
Yeah.
That helps.
So they threw me right to the you're going first, buddy. I'm like,
I tell this story like probably too much, but one time I was in this room like at an open mic and this comic goes on and like none of us knew him. And all the comics are just freezing him out. He's being like pretty fucking funny. Nobody's laughing or giving him shit. And then like halfway through his set, he mentions it's his first time doing comedy. And all the comics broke and just almost immediately started laughing at whatever he said. They're like, oh, we're being dicks right now. Like,
it's a new guy.
Right. Like your first time, even comics will give you some leeway because they don't want to like break you your first set.
So at Hidden House, where I did 5 minutes and I did really well. I had a few people be like, "Dude, where did you come from? Like, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is my first time, dude. I've been trying to." Yeah. I used to be really shy, believe it or not, and have really bad stage fright.
And maybe you like used to stand outside the showroom instead of hang out at the show.
I would be so nervous I couldn't even go into the shows. I would stand.
You still do that. You're not nervous, but you're
not nervous. But it's for a different reason because I don't want to see the attempts at comedy. But a couple of the guys were very welcoming, and most of them who ran around with that little scene were really,
I mean, comedy is insanely cliquish, and we all do it. Like, I say that as somebody that has, like, my friends and the people I like more than others. And, try to treat everybody with respect. But, like, always there's people that wear on you, dude.
I just
I know who that is for you.
Yes. But I like to call myself an army of one. Like, I'll do shows with anybody. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You gotta, you just gotta, if somebody offers you a show, you gotta do it. A comic in the scene a while ago was like, don't even bother booking me if you book me with so-and-so. And it's like, that's an insane attitude to take.
I would prefer you to book me with the whole lineup.
I don't like it.
The whole lineup.
Or is like, my favorite thing is being on a lineup of all people I hate and doing better than them.
And I don't even hate them anymore because I let all that go with therapy.
How long have you been in therapy?
Since over a year now.
Okay, I've been saying this a lot. Anything you can do to help your mental health will help you pursue comedy, folks. Don't think it's cool to neglect your mental health.
No, because you'll end up in jail.
So many of us are apt to do in this community. It's fucking insane, how little people value just being stable.
You have to be stable because I wasn't for a long time. For pretty much most of my comedy life, I was just out of control.
Yep.
And But therapy, going to jail, going to rehab. Was in rehab for like 4 months.
How long were you in jail?
I was in jail for 4 months, rehab for 4 months.
Which jail were you in?
I was at 4th Avenue.
4th Ave.
And then Towers.
I work in the jails. You know that?
That's right. I think you told me that.
Yeah.
So I started off at 4th and then did most of the time at Towers.
Yeah. Right on. I
Fun place.
Occasionally I'm sent to 4th Ave and Towers. I mainly work in the women's jail at Estrella.
Oh, Estrella. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, we
in
thought
there.
about it.
The women are real cool in there. I'll tell you that much.
I was shocked in jail about how many female guards there are.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
gorgeous Mexican women. We're like,
oh, dude, I do that joke
gosh.
about it. I don't know if you've heard it, but I do a joke about.
I don't watch comedy.
I do a joke about how like I get more sad when I see the women I'm attracted to in jail.
Oh,
it's like that's not cool. That's pretty fucked up.
Dude, like it was really just everybody. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff written about jail that I haven't even performed yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to write a TV show book kind of thing because it was. I say it was horrible, but I also haven't laughed that much in a long time.
Well, that's how it is. That's how I feel about my time as a meth addict. Like, some really funny, crazy, wild shit, and then also some shit I wish I'd never seen.
Yeah, and that's in jail, and then 4 months at the Phoenix Rescue Mission, and then so you have like I call it jail light.
Yeah.
You have freedom,
but
you can't leave.
Right.
But you can like walk around and like, leave your room, obviously.
Sure,
I work in the kitchen. You would go off site to work and just stuff like that. But it was jail light for sure.
Yeah. Which clubs were up and running when you started?
So when I started, Tempe Improv was
up there. Stand-up's been there. Right?
No, stand-up live
wasn't even there yet.
It was being built when I started.
Damn.
Comedy Spot was there. And Stand Up Scottsdale was just getting going.
Damn. And that's already come and gone. Stand Up Scottsdale's gone.
Comedy Spot's gone.
Comedy Spot's gone.
And then
now there's Stir Crazy.
Yeah,
I can't even keep up with the clubs in the valley.
Stir Crazy, CB Live / Desert Ridge Improv, Stand Up Live.
Is that that used to be like a music venue or something?
The music there's two sides. So the music venue's on the other side.
Okay, so it's always a comedy club.
And they do music in the comedy club part. Just depends what they're
sure, right? Okay,
because they have a huge stage.
Yeah. Okay,
so it's a cool place. And then obviously Tempe Improv, Stand Up Live.
Yeah.
So
word. And you work all the clubs pretty regularly now, right?
Not so much anymore. I kind of
really.
Yeah, comedy happens sometimes, Yeah. But I Stir Crazy is I like to say my home club. I live 5 minutes away.
Sure.
So when I'm not doing a weekend, I'll just go hang out at the open mic.
Yeah.
Just different shows they have there.
Stir Crazy gets a lot of praise on this podcast. Like
it's
like 50% of me on this podcast is just praising them.
So
they're the
like
best.
A lot of like the newer guys don't know what the Comedy Spot is. This, not the like how it's run, but as far as like the stage and how the size, that's what the Comedy Spot was like.
It was like a New York club?
No, like Stir Crazy.
Oh, Stir Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. I love small clubs. I wish there was clubs that did like more showcase. Like I love how like the clubs in LA and New York can be like on the weekends they do showcase shows where they have like 6 comics doing 15, but you need headliners here.
Yeah,
you gotta draw.
I have
there's not enough good comics in Phoenix.
I have a little bit of inside information that might be on its way.
Yeah. Oh.
Won't get into it. You've done one of the shows with one of those promoters before who might be bringing that to Phoenix, but we'll see how it works out.
Damn. That would be cool as hell, dude.
Yeah, because there's
I would help him as much as I could.
There's so many comics. And then there's not that many weekend gigs. So if a big club like
how fun would that be to hang out with like 6 of the best comics in Phoenix? Everybody's doing 15
to 20.
Yeah, and then, it'd be fun as hell, dude.
Yeah,
it really would. I think in the right spot you could pull it off. Stir Crazy, doesn't usually have headliners that are a draw.
A little bit.
Sometimes they do. Tom Takar's coming. He should draw a little bit.
I opened for Don Friesen there, and all his shows.
I'm not saying they never do. I'm just saying they don't like rely on it. A lot of the times, if you look onto the headliner, you're like, I've never heard of this person.
Right. And usually those guys are usually funnier than the dude who's been
of course
famous for 35
years. I'm not
years.
taking that away from him. My point is that that you can get people out to watch comedy even if they don't know who the comics are.
Yeah.
So In theory, you could pull off a showcase club.
And then even from when I first started to now, this which sounds insane to say, people support local more than they used to.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of going to Applebee's all the time, people are like, no, I'm going to go to the diner that's in my neighborhood and support that more than the chain restaurant.
The valley is so spread out that people are looking for any excuse to not drive 45 minutes.
And they don't have to go downtown or Scottsdale for entertainment. They can go right here on the west side,
right?
You know, or stay in their little spot in Desert Ridge, or stay in their Tempe area, and or downtown even gotten crazier the last 10 years because they got the colleges down there now.
Yeah,
they got built up a lot. They gentrified.
I heard it used to be like dog shit.
Dude, it was wild. It was because I used to work for security.
It's like the exact opposite of the rest of America. Like the rest of America used to be awesome, and now it's horrible. And now it
was a
used
giant
to be horrible here.
outdoor homeless shelter downtown. That's what it used to be.
Yeah, it's
and now they have it like in a little spot, but it used to be just
all that
over.
Little spot is rough.
It used to be like that through the whole downtown and the arena, and it was. But I worked security for the Suns for a few years, and in the late 2000s, and it was insane down there.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. What are your goals for the next, like, I don't know, 3 years? You said maybe write like a show or something.
I have a show written.
Yeah, okay.
I have almost 3,000 pages written about just my experience.
Yeah,
which I want to turn eventually, if a dream goal or whatever you want to call it happens, into two shows about my jail experience and rehab experience, because they're completely different and hilarious and insane and full of drama and all kinds of stuff. So I've been just every day I write a little bit about what happened and kind of
nice. You know, write every day. That's a good tip.
And not even jokes, just write down
whatever you can think of.
Journaling every day will help you with material. Whatever you write down today, in 2 weeks you come back and look at it and be like, oh, that's funny because I can attach it to what happened to me today.
Right.
So just stuff like
that. And just the more you write, the better you get at it. So like, and you just have this rule.
Clean out the garbage up there, you know?
Also, like, you don't have to write for like too long. When I write every day, I say I'm like 45 minutes. I'm done.
I think I do 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20's fine.
And then my hands start hurting because I can't type.
Oh, I don't. I can't write. I can only type.
Listen, I'm written all this stuff down, and I still can't read some of it, so I have to like rewrite it.
I've
so bad.
read that handwriting is better for you. That you memorize things better when you write it by hand.
That is true. I've done
that. For me. But like for me personally, it's just so much easier to type. It's so much faster. It doesn't make my hand hurt.
I'm what do you call it? Hunt and peck or whatever they call it.
The typewriter.
Yeah. No, I'm not that old, but I'm saying on a keyboard on my laptop, I'm doing the hunting and pecking.
Yeah,
not a typewriter. I don't have a rock and engraving the stuff on another rock. You know, I'm not that.
You
old.
should just get a typewriter though, because it's the same speed for you either way.
You're right. I'll stop at the typewriter store on the way out of here and just pick one up.
What goals for like comedy specifically? Anything?
To be honest with you, I've never had goals for comedy.
Right.
Like if I ever have a special, I don't really care.
Sure.
I just want to be able to do it as a living. That's the only goal I've ever had.
Right.
I don't care about being famous or anything. Being on TV, like in front of the screen, like producing stuff. I'm cool with that. But like with stand-up comedy, I've never had like, I want to be this, you know.
Do you think there's still like a route to making a living without being at least somewhat famous? Like, I think back in the day, you used to be able to be like kind of a nameless comic that you could just, as long as you murdered, you could just go. But now there's so many comics and they want everybody to draw like on their name. It's like you got to put yourself out there to some degree.
You have to make your own lane.
Like you're doing a good. Actually, you talk all this shit, but you're so good at like some of the business sides of comedy. You have that little card.
Well, don't tell anybody. You can't give away all the secrets, Eric. Then everybody's going to be doing it.
This podcast is. It's so anybody could be good at comedy, or
everybody should do comedy. I mean, look how many comics there are on now.
I was at an open mic the other day, and this kid's like just bouncing around the stage, and he's got a little plastic dinosaur he's playing with, and he gets off stage, and I'm like, "Hey, man, do you watch a lot of Casey Rocket by any chance? Do you know who that is?" Oh, he's a comic from Kill Tony.
I told you I really don't watch comedy.
You don't watch anything. Okay. Anyways, he's like, yeah, he's my favorite comic. And I was just like, I hate comedy.
Well, I was at open mic Wednesday at Stir Crazy. I went on. I did 5 new minutes, just trying it out, and then I think I was the only one there that's ever done more than 5 minutes. Period. Other than Lamar, Mitchell, who was hosting, but all the comics there were brand new. I've never even met them, and their enthusiasm for it was really annoying.
It sucks.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, you guys.
I remember being that guy.
Super like
6 weeks in, I felt like a comic. I was like, yeah, I'm a comedian. I get it. I get what we're doing.
And the dude was
like, you're just
around,
so bad.
Like excited before the show. I'm like, stop doing coke, okay? And he's like, you can tell. I'm like, bro.
That guy didn't even go up.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the guy in the jacket.
Yeah, the Ricky Bobby jacket.
I asked him if he sold coke.
Yeah.
Not because I was going to buy any, just.
Well, because being in jail and rehab now, I could spot that a mile away. And I'm like, stop doing coke. He's like, you can tell? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, well, cocaine might be the easiest drug to tell if somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously. It might be easier to tell if somebody's on coke than meth.
He's wearing a leather jacket, and it's 95 degrees outside. It's not that hard to tell.
Yeah.
And it had like a Ricky Bobby stuff, like just stickers everywhere.
It's weird how people on coke are always cold and sweaty at the same time. You shake their hand, and it's cold but also wet, and you're like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You all right? You need to call the doctor?
Yeah. That's only like, half the people I shake hands with in Phoenix.
Yeah. Like, have you been to an open mic?
Oh, my God. I was at Casey's Woodshed a while ago, and the owner was telling me how, I shouldn't have said the bar. Oh, well. He was telling me how anytime a case of glasses goes on sale, he buys them. He's like, because you wouldn't believe how much the waitresses around here break glasses. I was like, yeah, it's cool. They're definitely not drinking on the job. He's like, yeah, they don't even like cocaine.
It's beneath them.
And that's like the employees at the bar, not even the open micers. They're more out of control.
Oh, bro. So I won't say the name of the club, but a club in town, and the security guard, he's like, you want to hear what happened last weekend? I'm like, sure. And he's telling me all this crazy stuff that happened with the previous week's headliner, who's like really big.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're not going to believe it. And he goes into the story, and I'm like, damn, I wish I still drank sometimes. But famous, not like, lose my car kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's.
Hans Kim is out of control.
Jeff Dunham. Clean my ass.
Yeah. I could see Hans Kim being a piece of shit. You don't know any comedians.
No, I don't know who that is.
That's another guy. He just headlined Desert Ridge Improv.
Oh, yeah, that's not about him.
Rob, maybe. Okay.
No,
I was just guessing.
No. I'll tell you what it is after. But.
Yeah, sure. What's like the biggest show you've ever been on?
Like audience size?
Yeah.
So I did New Mexico Military Institute, and there was 8,000.
8,000 people?
The whole military academy was there.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So they hired. I had just opened for a guy at Laughs in Tucson who was a military veteran from South Carolina. And he liked me. He's a big old country white dude, right? Yeah. And he goes, hey, I'm going to be back on this side of the country in 2 months. They hired me to do the military gig at the New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell, New Mexico. He goes, do you want to open for me? And I have no idea what this is. And I'm like, sure, yeah. So I drove out there and paid really well. And I will go in there and you could feel like the fuck, just like shaking.
What's really well? I was going to ask how much somebody pays you when you're performing for 8,000 people.
So
but he's a headliner.
He paid me out of his pocket.
For sure.
And he paid me $2,000. And that's really well for doing 10 minutes. So I can't imagine what he got paid. And
that's really well for doing 10 minutes.
And the hotel room, I just had to get there. Hotel room, food, everything was paid.
Yeah. And, yeah. That's like 10 times the biggest amount I've been paid. I think probably the most I've been paid for comedy is probably $200.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not even the most I haven't paid either.
What's the most you've been paid? What show was that?
Well, hold on, let me finish this. So I go into this. It's a theater on the Institute campus, and they're like doing like chants and stuff, like just hyping each other up before the show starts. And I'm like, what the hell? Was Hitler about to speak? Like it sounds like thunder going on in here. And I peek my head out there. And I'm like, oh my god, the whole place is every single guy that's in the military institute is there.
Yeah.
And it was insane, dude.
That's insane. It sounds insane.
It was insane. I had a blast, dude. It was so much fun.
I bet they were a fun crowd, to be honest.
Yeah.
The military.
Yeah. But they weren't even like older. They were all like 18, 19
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But they couldn't really, we didn't do anything afterwards because none of them could leave the campus.
Sure.
But it was I
just mean
wild.
like probably like they would go with you on your jokes.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Like, so I have obviously have some racist jokes. And oh, my bad.
You're good.
That's right. I set my alarm to be here today. Good thing I showed up. So I did the racist stuff, bro, and it just turned into, that joke's about that guy. That joke's about that guy.
I've heard the military loves racist shit.
I have some stories. They don't.
Oh, interesting.
So I got banned from a base in Naval Air Base in El Centro, California. They booked me for a show. And it was for the commander of the base's retirement party. And he's not in uniform. He's just dressed in he looked like a rapper to me. And he had a bald head, older black dude. And I went on stage. I'm like, what the fuck is Birdman doing here? And that's the commander, and the whole room is erupting and dying because they can never make fun of this dude to his face, right? Because he's the boss. Yeah. So I ended up doing crowd work on him and stuff and make fun of his wife. I'm like, this is like Whitney Bobby in here. Like, what's going on with these two? It's the only black people in the whole crowd.
He didn't like it, huh?
Dude, no. I had a blast after the show. So the guys from Arizona were like, hey, from Arizona. We partied with them all night. Me and another comedian were there. We almost got in a fight at the barracks because we were all drunk and stupid. In the morning, we leave, and I get a call from the promoter. He's like, hey, man, so just to let you know, the commander banned you from coming on base ever again. I was like, oh, that sucks, but he's retiring, so he gives a fuck.
Yeah. So he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the gig that paid you the most ever? And how much was that?
I don't want to say the name of the company because I don't want people bugging them.
Okay, sure.
But it's a big bank. They hired me for their Christmas holiday party.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a bank. They can afford stuff. So I threw out a number at them. And she said, okay, within 10 seconds. She's like, okay.
Oh, you're right. I should ask for more.
I was like, fuck. I could have got double or triple what I just asked for. And I almost started crying Maricopa County is getting most of this money anyway. I'm not even going to see any of it. I could have paid my fines off from getting arrested. But it was a lot for half an hour.
Was it more than double the other show?
Yeah.
Wow. For half an hour.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. How many people was that show?
200.
Damn.
It was just employees, of one of the banks.
Pretty good, dude.
Yeah. It was at the Biltmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a clean set? Are these corporate gigs? Okay. Yeah,
I do have a clean set.
Yeah.
Then they usually go over what they want a lot of the times. They're like, try not to talk about this or that. And I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. If you're going to pay me that much, I'll follow some rules a little bit.
Yeah.
And then by the time I get there, they're usually hammered. They don't fucking care.
Sure.
I did a realtor corporate event in Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was in Scottsdale. They hired me. I'm like, cool. And they're like, don't talk about, he doesn't like me talk about his weight, the guy, the boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the last guy that's going to make fun of
I'm
somebody
fatter
for being
than this
fat.
fat fuck. So I went up there, and by the time I went up there, they're all hammered drunk. And I just roasted the whole crowd, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, my check went through. Cool.
Yeah.
Later. And then they started fighting with each other afterwards. My one of my buddies who was on the show with me. It's like, yeah, bro, they started fighting in the parking lot afterwards.
Cool.
Like,
sounds like a good time.
I was already gone.
Alcohol's the shit.
No, it's not.
I know, it's the worst. It might be the worst drug. I don't drink at all.
Yeah.
You don't either.
No.
You don't even go in the bars.
No,
just wait till your set's up.
I'm outside because it's just.
You're not supposed to be in there anyway. So.
I'm not supposed to be in there, but it's for my own recovery and all that stuff. I don't even.
Right.
Why put myself in this situation if I don't have to? I'm not in bars unless there's a show going on that I'm performing on.
Right, and even then, you wait until you're set.
I'll try to wait outside or in the lobby, wherever. So.
All right, I have a good question. Who that you started with or was already doing comedy when you started is still doing it that you can think of? Anybody from that time? 2010? Who would have been around? Maybe Tony Tripoli probably was around, or
He was around, but I've only met him recently.
Oh, interesting.
Barely,
okay.
but
But he like tours. Yeah.
he wasn't around Phoenix a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Jill Kimmel was around.
Mm-hmm.
She had her own open mic out in Tempe, Mesa, or Tempe, Chandler area.
Okay.
Short Bus was around. Steve Short Bus.
Cool. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he'd been doing it for a few years before me, and it's not a lot anymore.
Damn, people fall off quick, dude.
Yeah,
It's hard to do comedy a long time.
A long time, and then
It wears on you.
And then coming up with new stuff and being funny and still trying to be funny after you're doing your old stuff for how long, and then I don't feel like doing it no more, so I'm gonna do some new stuff, and it's not good. And then you're like, oh, I can't because you're writing new material, but you still, when you perform for like a sold out show, like a book show, you're not gonna do your 10 minutes of new material.
Right.
You're gonna do the stuff that works.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna go up there and bomb like, oh, it's okay, I was just trying out new material. Thanks.
Yeah.
They don't care. They want you to be funny.
Exactly.
So it's kind of hard to balance that line when you're especially when you're getting booked a lot.
Yeah. Oh, always. Yeah. And then exactly. That's why you have to always do open mics. I just mentioned Tom Takar. You probably don't know who that is.
Oh, he's my best friend.
I've learned to just not assume that you know a comedian. He lives in LA now. He was a New York guy for a long time. And I went and saw him when he headlined Stir Crazy last year, and we were hanging out afterwards, and somebody asked him if he still goes to open mics. He's like, yeah, I still go to open mics. Like, I never say anything that I've said before, but I still go to open mics. Right. And I was like, that makes sense. Yeah. Like, even people that are headlining clubs need to go, like, try a joke before they're like, sure. And then, like, even if that does okay at a mic, you're like, okay, I'll try it at a show then.
Even if, like, at Stir Crazy, I'll just show up and see if Lamar has any time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
of course.
Just give me, like, 2 minutes. I just need to try this thing real quick. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah. You know, I don't need 5-10 minutes to do stuff I already know that's funny. I just want to try this stuff and see how it sounds. Yeah. See if I get a reaction.
Yeah. I know. I've been trying to talk Lamar into making that Wednesday show a fucking book show instead of a mic.
I think
like, why are you fucking letting lunatics on this show?
I think it's fantastic, show? Lamar. You should keep doing exactly.
Yeah, no, you're fucking insane. It's like, we have a sold out room. Let's let up 7 comics that perform twice a year. That's a good idea. That'll be a good show.
I think it's a fantastic show, Eric. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm not saying anything that the people at Stir Crazy haven't said to me.
It is crazy that every Wednesday it's sold out.
It's sold out, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Or maybe just have more of a mix of book spots and like half and half, more than a third of it, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? Yeah. Ultimately, I just wish I got more stage time there, and I get a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar books me on his shows. The club books me on their weekend shows, so it's, I can't complain at all.
I know, they're the best. But just my only point is, it's just insane to let up so many like new comics. Adam, like,
but you never. I mean, when I first started, they didn't have to let me on.
No, I get it.
Because what if there's a dude in there who just comes in there and is like, oh shit, this dude's legit.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I look at it myself as, like I said, my first time I killed it. The next 7 shows were awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first one was like, oh man.
Yeah. But I mean, like, ultimately, this has always been my opinion. Anybody who like wants to be a comedian will be better served by going and doing 100 like bad open mics before they like worry about getting on at clubs.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's fine. Like, if you want to go and like, I get it. Like, new comedians never have an opportunity to crush like that. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then if all you do is comedy club gigs, you're not going to know
You just won't know how bad you are, basically.
No, not only that is what if somebody heckles you?
Yeah,
that's why you have to do bar shows.
Yep.
What if somebody's not paying attention? What if you get no reaction? What are you going to do? Panic? You know.
You will, yeah.
You will, because if you go to a bar show, 90% of the time they're not listening to you. But if you can grab their attention, then you know you're working with something.
Yeah, people won't like this, but we can tell when a comedian just does good rooms, or if they go everywhere and they go out in the dog shit a little bit.
I mean, we did the room last week.
It was tough.
It was 7 people there?
Yeah. Right.
I loved it.
Right. I know comics that wouldn't have performed. They would have been like, I'm just going to go.
Oh, I mean, if I'm allowed to be there, I don't care if there's 7 or 8,000 people.
Once I'm there, I'm performing, dog. There's no way I'm driving 45 minutes to just be like, fuck it, I'll just go home.
I'm doing my material. Yeah. I'm doing crowd work. I'm doing improv, all that stuff, whatever. 700, 7,000, whatever. I don't care.
Exactly.
In a bar, in a club, in the back of a bowling alley.
Yeah.
At the biggest club in town, at a military institute, military base, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. What's up? Or I heard you got beef with everybody.
Do I?
I don't know.
Not anymore. I don't have anymore. Beef. I don't have beef with anyone.
You're past that. Therapy's working. How long you been in therapy?
So I started June of last year.
June. I should probably be in therapy too.
I would say for the longest time, and I always thought about it, and different communities are like,
do you have a male or female therapist?
Female.
Interesting.
Female.
Yeah.
At first I had a male, then I have a female now.
I think I kind of would prefer that, but maybe not. I don't know. I think I could go either way.
I think so. The dude who was my counselor therapist at the mission. He was a former. I won't say what biker gang he was in, but very experienced in a lot of stupid stuff I was doing.
Yeah, sure.
So the relation of him doing stuff and me doing stupid stuff.
He could give you some guidance.
We've been through a lot of the same things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then now the lady that does my stuff outside when I left the mission, she's more, I wouldn't say motherly at all, but she's just more like gentle, soft with telling
and that's good for where you're at now.
Yeah, because I don't need somebody to be like, I don't need the football coach anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You ever performed for any of the Phoenix Suns?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, not on purpose.
Yeah,
but by accident.
I imagine they're at the clubs sometimes.
They were at one of the clubs, and they were already retired. But of course, I had to make fun of them. It's been a couple years ago. I think it was at House of Comedy. Mark West and Eddie Johnson.
Cool.
Were at their buddy from Chicago was out there performing, and I happened to be on the same show.
Nice.
And I'm like, Eddie Johnson, is that you? I'm like, I need a picture after the show. And he goes, yeah, it's me. He goes, no problem, buddy. And he goes, Mark West is here too. I'm like, damn, Mark West is here. He got 2 fellas just walking into the club.
That's wild.
So it was cool. They were very nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still work House of Comedy?
No.
Sorry.
I don't know if you want to get into. We're not going to get into that because I don't want to be petty anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's already behind. I
shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Shit happens.
I can't help it. I'm kind of a troll sometimes.
I
didn't even realize what I was doing until I said it, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I was in that green room the other night." I know what happened.
Oh shit, that's right. You were there. I forgot. But I put that behind me. Whatever. But no, I don't.
I mean, I'm cool.
If they ever wanted me to perform there again, I'm not going to say no. But sure. I'm probably not welcome there as much as the other clubs.
Yeah. That's all right. You seem like you're in the big 3 pretty often. So
yeah, and then I like House of Comedy is a fun place to perform.
They're cool. Yeah.
I like.
No, shout out. They're cool, and I'm cool with everybody there.
And then
I'm on a show there tomorrow.
Stephanie and all the staff are they're top notch. They're really nice.
I know. I shouldn't.
Rick is nice. Everybody.
Yeah. Well, let me check the time.
They're not as good as Stir Crazy. I'll tell you that though.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out. And he's not just saying that because he lives 5 minutes from Stir Crazy.
It's for both reasons.
Yeah. Right on. Let's see. Where's like the farthest you've gone to do comedy?
Houston, Texas.
Houston. Right on.
Yeah, I actually drove from Phoenix to Houston the day before Thanksgiving a few years back.
Damn.
I headlined it was it's called the Mexican Folclorio Theater out there.
Yeah.
And I went out there and headlined, and I'm like, all right, cool. They paid me decent.
Dude, doing shows the day before Thanksgiving fucking sucks, dude. I remember in Oregon a couple of years ago, my buddy's like, hey, man, I'm on this awesome show like 3 hours away. The night before Thanksgiving, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure. We get in the car, and it's like a 5.5 hour drive because everybody's on the road for Thanksgiving. I was like, Jesus Christ. We barely get there, like, for the show.
As soon as I hit West Texas, it starts snowing, sleeting, rainy. It took me 24 hours to drive out there.
That fucking sucks. Dude, on this drive, it was pouring, and my buddy rolled down the window in my car, and he didn't know that it couldn't roll back up. It would get stuck. So then he had to, like, lean over to my side of the car for the whole drive because the window had to be down, and it was just pouring. It was an insane show.
The drive sucked for sure.
Yeah.
I had to pull over and sleep on the side of the road. It was just insane.
Yeah. Are you allowed to leave the state?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
Just because you're on probation?
Yeah.
That's so weird. I left the country when I was on probation in Washington.
Look at the skin tone, Doug. I'm just kidding. I can leave the state, but I have to get permission and do a bunch of paperwork. And I'm like, I don't even. I'm good. Just stay until I'll be done in October. So.
I went to Argentina when I was on probation, and when I got back, the next time I talked to my probation officer, I like thanked her for letting me go. And she's like, I didn't let you go. I couldn't have stopped you. I was like, okay, well, chill out.
Calm the fuck down.
Be nice.
Go talk to your PO.
What the fuck's that about?
I have my PO is awesome, actually. She's like, whatever you need, she goes, we'll help you as much as possible. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, my experience with the legal system was very much that they just were uncomfortable that I was on meth and had guns. And as soon as that problem was resolved, they were very nice about like trying to get me back on track in life.
Yeah.
Gave me a really sick diversion program where as long as I was on probation and didn't get in any trouble for 2 years.
Yeah. So
my case just.
Yeah, I can get my weapons back at the end of October.
I don't think I'm allowed to own firearms, but.
I had a really good lawyer. My
time might be up on that. I don't know, but
probably.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't need a gun right now. I don't think. I mean, I am in Arizona.
Everybody's got one.
It's scary.
I'll take mine back, but I won't carry it on me with me anymore like I was.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I don't put myself in those kind of situations anymore, so I don't need that.
Somebody that we're real cool with and maybe do a podcast with sometimes was telling me he used to pull a gun on people during road rage. I was like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Somebody you know that you do a podcast with used to do that all the time.
Oh, 2 people, it sounds like.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
This is satire. If my PO's watching.
This is just a podcast.
It's Arizona.
I wrote this hat off on my taxes because I'm wearing it on a podcast.
Right.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's real. This is a simulation. My name's Gabe Oliveros.
I've been thinking about that. I really need to get on top of everything I can write off on my taxes. Are you good at doing your comedy taxes?
I have somebody that does it for me.
Yeah. Because
everything.
Yeah.
As much as I can.
Buy these hats to wear them on stage specifically. I'm pretty sure I can write those off.
I have a Mexican guy do my taxes, and he hates the government. He's like, I got you. Cool. Thank you, Hector.
Dude, I went to do my taxes this year, and the woman's just like, all right, so let me get this right. You're saying you spent $7,500 on your comedy career, and you made $300. Is that this year? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Right.
It's pretty
That's
accurate.
Exactly
actually.
Right.
He tried to write hot sauce off. He's like, all these business trips you went on, and you didn't use hot sauce for all the food?
Yeah.
I'm like, I did. He goes, I got you. I'm like, okay.
That's awesome. Reese Muniz and I were talking, and he was like, do you think I could write off the marijuana I smoke before a show? I was like, I don't know, dude.
If it's medicinal.
If it's medicinal, yeah, you'd have to get your medical card. That's really funny. Can you write medicine off your taxes? That doesn't make sense.
I'm sure there's a way.
Like for maybe if it's like so you can function as a business, that could work. But
if it's part of
I just wonder if like normal people like
I don't
that
see
doesn't
why
make
not.
sense.
I don't see why you can't.
Yeah, sure. I don't know anything about.
You think
taxes.
people write cigarettes off?
No. I smoke on stage.
You think they write fucking alcohol off?
Yeah.
They do.
Probably. That's awesome. I love being a comedian.
It's really amazing sometimes, and sometimes like I wish I was doing something else.
Yeah. Oh, I don't ever have that feeling. Like that's like one of the reasons, like kind of like what you were saying about how you don't have any real expectations of comedy. I've kind of reached that place myself. It's like, even if I never make a living, I would love to make a living.
Right,
even if I never do, I know I enjoy this enough just to keep doing it. I get bored.
just whatever comes your way, and okay, cool.
Right. Like in the last year, I've really mellowed out from being like worried about the opportunities I'm getting and wanting to be in the clubs more to just like appreciating the fact that I get to do comedy at all.
Yeah.
And just being worried about getting better and letting the opportunities come to me as they do instead of worrying too much about them. Because for one, it doesn't really help. It doesn't like get you in the clubs any faster to be like, oh God, I want to be in the clubs so bad.
And then when you have expectations, by this point, I'm going to be this, and you're not there yet, you're going to start spiraling.
Right. And also, it doesn't really help you earn a living by just being in the clubs.
And then you'll start doing shady stuff to other people because you're not there yet. So I feel like I have to do something stupid, or deceiving or snaky to get there. And now you start doing dumb shit.
And it's just
you've seen it around.
Yeah, of course. It's bad in the Phoenix scene.
It's like that everywhere, though.
For sure. But smaller scenes.
Yeah, because you have delusional people that think they can make it, so they start doing backhand. Even the little stuff like buying followers.
Yeah.
You know
my God. we don't know anybody that buys followers. What are you talking about, Jorge?
Did you hear that big old gasp into the microphone? I'm like, sorry.
Well, Lamar wasn't just bitching to me about people who do that.
I told Lamar yesterday, I was like, I think I have like 500 followers on Instagram, and I know every single one of them, and they all know me. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. No, that's not a bad place to be at, actually. I mean, you want more, but...
I don't need a plaque from a streaming service to say that I'm unfunny.
You don't need 30,000 followers from India that never like any of your reels. That's what you don't need. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I take shots on this podcast sometimes.
Are you doing your NWA stuff right now?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, certain comics fucking get lit up on this podcast sometimes.
I wouldn't say they're even comics, to be honest with you. They're just people attempting.
Yeah, I hear you. I know it's so funny how much people have that attitude of like, I'm a real comedian, but like, on some level, we all feel that and are like judgmental towards the comics that we feel aren't funny or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a comedian. Am I a professional working comedian? No, but I think I'm a comedian. You know.
Yeah, dude, you crush almost every time I see you, so that's all I need to know.
Did you just call me fat, dog? Not a player.
Have you seen? You haven't been to that show yet. I have a pallet stage. Like, I have a stage made out of a pallet, and every time Gabe does a set, I'm like, the stage survived another Gabe set. Let's fucking go.
Oh, God. Poor Gabe.
I know. He's a good friend of mine, I think. I'm allowed to make those jokes.
Oh, okay. That's not a positive outlook.
No. I know I adore Gabe. I just hope he doesn't mind the jokes too much.
And then even if he does hate you, he's never going to tell you.
No, he's the best.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
He's the sweetest. Yeah, I love. Do you ever do the cruise ships?
No. So I have a fear of water.
Yeah.
So
fuck that.
I would never. I don't care how much they offered me. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
It'd be interesting to play around with that amount.
They have to pay for therapy.
20,000 for a weekend.
I don't think I can, man. Like,
Wow. Okay, so it's like a real phobia.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say, I guess, phobia, but I just, like, I'm good. I don't like being not on land.
Yeah. I'm just saying if you had turned $20,000 down for a weekend, it's probably a real phobia.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not your therapist, but
I'll ask her next week. I just got off with it right now, so I'll ask her next week.
I do work with a psychologist.
Oh, do you?
It's pretty cool. My aunt.
Now, if you told me if I had to fly to England to do it, I think I could.
Yeah.
But on a boat. You
fly okay.
I don't fly great. I have to take Valium.
Sure.
But it's the water. The water.
I have to take Valium. Poor me.
Why are you crushing it up and snorting it, sir?
Yeah. I had to have a scotch with it, too.
What are you gonna do?
Would you want to travel to do comedy more? I could
once
get us some shows
once
in
I'm
Oregon.
able to leave the state,
That's why I asked.
I'm definitely gonna be. I was doing it for a while. I was doing gigs. I had a room in Texas, and I had a room in New Mexico.
People here don't realize how hard it is to travel and still be funny, because a lot of people don't realize Phoenix is easy mode for comedy.
Yeah.
Like I went up the other day and was just like, is it just me or is the LGBTQ community really gay? And it just crushed. And I was like, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, so I did Del Rio. Used to do Del Rio, Texas, like twice a year.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, you're great. Keep coming back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I would bring different groups of guys from Phoenix to go out there. What was the other one? I fucking did stuff with Entertainment Max.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to do, not anymore since the pandemic, but Laughlin, the Edgewater Casino.
Uh-huh.
And that's a weird group of motherfuckers that go there.
Sure.
I mean, they're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just weird people in Laughlin.
Casinos are weird in general.
Casinos are weird, but Laughlin is like, I don't know. It's just the weird people who don't want to drive to Vegas go to Laughlin.
Is it like in between here and there?
Yeah, so it's like an hour south of Vegas.
Sure.
The Arizona side.
Yeah.
And it just it's on the habit.
Yeah, okay, so really degenerate people, if they just need to get to the nearest casino and they're not willing to drive an hour more to be in Vegas, probably.
Yeah, or they can't afford Vegas. And
Right.
Stuff is cheaper out there.
Yeah.
And it's just remember. Do you remember the movie Vegas Vacation?
No.
Okay,
I never saw it.
Do you guys remember the movie Vegas Vacation where Chevy Chase?
Nobody ever saw that.
Chevy Chase goes to like the off-site casinos just to play like 21, not 21, but like just different card like War.
Uh-huh.
That's what Laughlin is.
Okay.
It's just weird. It's just a weird vibe about the whole place.
Sure.
It's on the Colorado River.
Okay.
And it's just a weird vibes.
And you did comedy there?
I used to do it twice a year.
And it sucked.
We were there for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then it's a weird place.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes if I would get so sick of being on the road if it was my job. I was playing around with for a while with the idea of like opening a club and trying to be like a center of community for.
What are you, gay?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Though, like the best part of comedy is just going up, like getting on stage and hanging out with people you like. Right? I think. And that's hard sometimes.
So before the pandemic, I actually got one of my lawyer friends who's like has a lot of money. And got him as an investor to open a club up in one of the cities in Arizona. Not in the valley, like up north. And it was looking pretty good.
Damn.
Like he had a spot picked out and everything. And pandemic happened and everything just fucking went to
fell
shit.
apart. Yeah. Sucks. The pandemic fucked up so much.
So you want to hear a story?
Sure.
So end of 2019, I get hit up by this promoter from Milwaukee, or he's from Chicago, or somewhere like that area, like Milwaukee, Chicago area. He's like, I'm putting together a show. I seen you in Phoenix. He goes, I want you to come out and you're going to be the Gary Owen of our show. He goes,
Gary Owen's white, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's going to be an all-black show, but I'm going to be the token non-black comic on the show. And we're filming it for Hulu because they want to have like a version of Def Comedy Jam again. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. They got the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. It's a fucking beautiful theater where like they film comedy specials. Yeah. And I think it was June 17, 2020. We got the date set. Everything's going to be good. We're going to film all these famous black comedians on it and me. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. We're filming it for Hulu. The Hulu's going to put it on their shit. Yeah. What happens to begin in 2020?
Pandemic.
The pandemic. Right. That shit went out the window. I was like, oh,
just never heard again.
Never heard from them again. Yeah. Everything just. LG Music was partnering.
I hate comedy.
LG Music was partnering to produce it. It was just, I was like so heartbroken, dude. I was like, oh. Yeah. Like I've had movie auditions too where I was in the movie.
Damn.
And I'm not an actor, but they're like, all right, we're gonna call you tomorrow and let you know what's going on because like we just need to work some things out. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The movie was one of the most famous Mexican comedians of all time. All my scenes were with him and everything. Damn. He didn't want another Mexican
in the movie,
so they switched my role out. I'm out the movie.
Some fat white guy.
The fat white guy with blonde hair.
Fucking like, hell.
Dude, all right. I could have got my SAG card, all this stuff.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
That was like my third year in comedy.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd been cool to, I don't know, would you want to get into acting stuff?
I've done a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been in TV commercials. I've been on local cooking shows.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's cool. It's like also a distraction in a weird way, where like, I mean, I guess if it pays well, you're like, fuck it.
The TV commercial, it was to get Latinos to vote in 2020.
Okay.
So they're like, we want you to do this, but we need you to have like a cholo, like talk like a cholo. I was like, I'm not trying to like be stereotypical and like hurt my community. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, I already sound like a cholo. Chill out.
And like they told me how much they're paying me. I'm like, orale, let's do this. You know? And they're like, we got wardrobe for you. I'm like, I got my own. Don't worry about it.
What would you wear? Long jeans with high socks?
Khakis.
Yeah,
khakis and my flannel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was
really
cool.
funny.
That commercial shoot was fun.
Yeah.
Even though it filmed it in the middle of summer for it to air during election time. So I'm out we filmed it in Phoenix at Barrio Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of summer, I'm wearing a flannel. I'm dying.
Yeah. You would be good in like sketches. I think Lamar's kind of playing around with the idea of doing like some sketch show stuff.
Is he?
It'd be fun to do stuff with.
I'm down.
Well, we have a camera now, and like, it's like, why not do stuff? I don't know. Throw some spaghetti at the wall, so to speak.
Is that what the saying is?
Yeah. You just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Sounds wasteful.
Yeah. I know. It says, and why? Why does it need to stick?
And why spaghetti?
Yeah. I guess that means it's done, is why you would throw it.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'll have to look into it
Oh,
later.
this is
Yeah.
upsetting my stomach right now. Even though
you
I'm
not
on,
eat a lot of spaghetti?
no, not anymore. I'm on
Not
Ozempic
anymore.
now, so I barely eat food.
Yeah. What was your favorite jail meal?
So when I was there, they were putting out a new menu,
Uh-huh.
and everybody was excited for corn chowder.
Huh.
It was the best of
Oh, it was
all
good?
of all the things that they had.
Yeah.
Because they had barbecue. Everything was just like a sauce
Yeah.
mixed with the slop that they serve.
Yeah.
So it was just slop with barbecue sauce, the different stuff.
Yeah.
Chili slop. It was just spices. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
But the corn chowder, bro, it was legit.
Yeah. I just remember there being a lot of peanut butter and Kool-Aid.
I can't eat peanut butter no more.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. Oh my God, that's all they give you
Yeah.
every breakfast.
That's on the weekends. That's all you have.
Yeah.
They,
Oh really?
They don't have
Yeah.
hot meals on the weekend. You
Jesus
get 2 Ladmo
Christ.
sacks.
Jesus.
2 Ladmo sacks Saturday, 2 on Friday. 2
Brutal.
on Sunday.
That's
Yeah.
fucking brutal.
And you know that bread tastes like shit.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Fucking jail.
Sheriff
Not
Joe.
going back.
What their rumor was in jail was he ordered so much of that soy pig slop
Uh-huh.
that they still have enough for 10 more years.
Ugh.
So it's frozen. They just have to like defrost it to feed the guys every day.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Mm-hmm.
That place will make you want to kill yourself. And I don't even work there. Or, I mean, I work there. I just work there. I don't even
We
have
had
to
one
stay
dude
there.
Commit suicide in there.
I bet.
He jumped off the second level.
Damn. Fucking insane.
Overdoses like crazy, bro. It was wild.
Yeah. Like, if you're in jail, you're going to be there less than a year. Probably don't need to kill yourself.
No, so the one guy I was in jail with, he was in prison, but fighting his case.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't take you to prison to downtown every day. You fight your case from county.
Right.
So he's in prison technically, but he's in county fighting his case. He's been there for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, fuck, I hate this place, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because it's worse. He said county's worse than prison.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, Jorge, which comics in the scene do you respect the least? No. Don't answer that. I'm kidding. It's a joke about...
I can't even consider them comics to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's the third time you've made that joke.
It's a callback.
I get it, though. That's just a little joke about how much we like talking shit. But here's the thing about talking shit. I know for sure people are talking shit about me.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad.
No,
Probably the same people I'm talking shit about.
probably.
Yeah, so it's like, whatever.
If somebody says shit about me, I could care less.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I've always realized doing comedy, some people just aren't going to like me.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
That's just life,
They
bro.
don't think I'm funny.
Right.
They don't like my perspectives on the world. And they wish I would just shut up and not do comedy, which isn't going to happen.
Right.
So it's like, I like that I'm on their mind and they're talking
Right,
about
right.
me and they notice me. in comedy, being polarizing isn't bad.
No.
Right?
No, not at all.
It's like the comics I hate the most aren't the comics that I disagree with. It's the ones that never say anything interesting. They're like in the middle.
Or some of the stuff that gets on my nerves and I rant about to my friends is the political activism comedy.
Right.
It's like
on both sides.
Not even one side, exactly.
Right.
Both
like
sides.
if I can ever tell what your political leaning is, you're a bad comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my opinion. And I
agree with that for sure.
Like I hate it.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to shit on both sides. Nobody should ever really know if you're liberal or conservative or just stuck in the middle or just apolitical. Honestly, as a comedian, you should strive to be apolitical.
Down the middle.
Right. You should learn how to shit on everybody and recognize the flaws in both sides. And also just like, if you haven't realized by now that politics are essentially just a distraction and that these people are all paid by the same companies. The same
teams.
Right. Like basically to just manipulate you and make sure that you're not paid enough money and keep you fighting about guns, abortion, trans women, just whatever.
Give you enough money so you can survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
And if anybody really in power wanted things to change, they just would. Right? So like,
yeah, I mean,
it's kind of dumb worrying about, like, I'm not going to tell anybody not to go vote. Like, sure, go like vote, participate, but just know that like ultimately the Democrats are pretending to be good people so that you support them. Like, they're not like, they'll turn on you as soon as they can.
Right.
Almost
and then
always.
The limiting of free speech and be able to say what you want.
Yeah.
Is like,
and then also the Republicans aren't even pretending to care about you. So they're not any bad. I'm literally apolitical.
Yeah. So I had an experience at a show once where it was I actually did a roast of probably the future senator of Arizona. I roasted him, Ruben Gallegos.
Okay.
I got hired to roast him at his birthday party.
Damn.
A few years ago.
I thought you just saw him and lit him up for no reason.
I performed for his party
roast,
at the club downtown. They rent a club downtown, and it was just super liberal people in there.
Yeah.
And this fucking lady, I won't say her gender because you couldn't tell what it was, started talking to my dad like he fucking was a worker. Excuse me, sir, I know you don't know English, but can you try to... And my dad's like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, I have a veteran hat. My dad's a veteran. I have a veteran hat on. Who the fuck are you talking to? He's like, I know you probably don't understand English well, but like she's talking to him like he's a fucking little immigrant boy that just got here to America. And my dad's looking at her. He's 70 years old. Like, who the fuck are you talking to like that?
Yeah.
Like, and she's just talking down to him like this.
And you're like chill out.
Like this. And then my dad's watching the show. She stands in front of my parents with her friends. Like, they're not sitting there watching the show.
It's insane.
It's like totally disrespectful, disregarding an older Mexican couple with a veteran.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. It's insane.
Like, the guy that you're here for is a veteran also. Right? Ruben Gallegos is a fucking veteran also.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. I had to get security to get those ladies, like, if you don't drag these whatever gender these people are, I'll just do it myself. So it was a whole thing. And then I brought it up on stage to Ruben Gallegos. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I roasted the fuck out of him, dude.
That's funny.
Fuck out of him, yeah. And the future mayor of Phoenix was his wife at the time.
Oh, wow.
Kate Gallegos.
Crazy.
Yeah, I roasted all of them.
The upper echelon. Lit him up.
Oh, lit him up.
That's awesome.
Lit him up. And then the first thing he says about me, when I get up there, he's like, who the fuck let the bar back up here? I was like, oh, that's why all these motherfuckers don't like Mexicans, but you don't.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
You little motherfucker.
All right, dude. You have anything you want me to plug? Or you want to plug?
No, man. I just been doing a lot of shit.
You got an Instagram, Jorge Ruiz?
Yeah, Jorge Ruiz. Just follow me there, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, nothing. I always work with Comedy Madness shows in town.
Yeah, shout out
to Michael Q, Comedy Madness shows all the clubs in town.
I mean, those shows are fucking popping.
Dude, there's almost sold out every time.
Yeah.
You just did one a couple days ago, and it was sold out.
They were both sold out. And he does a lot of them, dude. Like, he did like, I think in like a month, he did 4 or 5 sold out shows here. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, I mean, it's impressive.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So I do have a lot of those shows coming up with him.
That's awesome.
And then as soon as
Go follow Comedy Madness. Shout out.
follow the Comedy Madness page. They give away free tickets. You want to pay for tickets, whatever. They always accommodate you. So it's cool.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for being here, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.